Day presented by Dr. Pepper. The college football season is officially kicking off today, and you know exactly why we are here. A top 5 matchup for week 1 of the college football season. The Buckeyes welcoming the Longhorns to town. We'll talk this matchup and everything else to get you ready for it. Look at us. Oh my gosh.
We back.
We're in Columbus, Ohio. Harry Douglas, Harry Lyles, Christine Williamson here. You guys excited to start the college football season?
Let's go. And we got a banger to kick off, right? The defending national champions.
Okay. They're pretty high.
Well, can I test them one more time?
Yeah, you should.
OH! OH! I said OH! Make some noise!
Are there any Longhorns fans out there? I don't see any burnt orange. Where are y'all at?
Hey, you know what's even worse? I saw a couple Michigan people like way in the back.
Really?
You want to talk about brave?
They are super brave. Okay, so we start every show with something that we call 3 big things. We're talking 3 big things that we're paying attention to in this matchup. To start this one off, same teams, new faces. So these 2 teams matched up about 9 months ago in the college football playoff semis, but 26 players on those rosters are no longer on these 2 teams. So when you think about this, Lyles, which team do you think is more primed to make a run this season?
I mean, I know people are talking about all the talent that Ohio State lost, but can we talk about Julian Saint is still a 5-star quarterback? Correct. And you also have perhaps I know you have the best player in college football, Jeremiah Smith, for one, on offense. That is absolutely going to help. And then Caleb Downs might also be the best defensive player in all of college football as well. So there is talent behind talent. That is what has made Ohio State one of the premier programs in the country. I do think one of the things that Texas presents as a challenge, these are both 2 young offensive lines. I think if Anthony Hill and Colin Simmons on that pass rush, I think they can make things difficult. But if I'm talking about teams, when we're talking about straight talent and who can be really effective today, I like what Ohio State's bringing to the table.
Okay. That's pretty solid. I like that you mentioned Ohio State's quarterback, Julian Saint. Both teams, they come into this game with new guys under center. Obviously, a lot of hype around Arch Manning as well. HD, which team do you think has put their quarterback in a better position to succeed in this game today?
I think it's going to have to be Ohio State. And we got to remember, they just don't have a new defensive coordinator. They have a new offensive coordinator. Brian Hartline is going to call plays for the very, very first time. But when you do have the best player in college football, Jeremiah Smith, make some noise for Jeremiah Smith. It makes things a tad bit easier. But if Ohio State can get that run game going early to help their young quarterback, I love the transfer from Purdue, Max Clare. Get him involved. He's a guy that can be a security blanket for Julian Saint. But at the same time, what I love what Ohio State did in that semifinals game when they took away, Texas that is, away Jeremiah Smith, other guys stepped up.
Yeah.
You've seen Cardell Tate ball out. Brandon Enos is a guy that I feel like can have a good game today as well. So everyone collectively around Julian Saint, they have to step up and make plays. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers, also the running backs, and most importantly, offensive coordinator. Protect your young quarterback.
No love for Arch Manning?
No. You guys are probably tired of hearing about him, are you not?
All right, so obviously all eyes are on Columbus. Texas is the #1 in the AP preseason poll for the first time ever, while Ohio State, obviously, they're defending their championship. Which team do you think, Lyles, is under more pressure when it comes to this matchup today?
Oh, I think it's Texas. You guys got their championship, right? You guys are chilling. That's not to say that you don't want another one, but all of the pressure is on Texas. They are sort of in an all-in year, similar to what Ohio State was last year. All of the pressure on Arch Manning specifically. It's one thing that he's a talented player, but it's another thing to have that Manning last name. So to me, Texas is the team with all of the pressure today. These guys are playing with house money, and they've already got their title.
All right, we like it. Let's dive a little bit deeper into Ohio State, and let's start on the defensive side of the ball. Big news this offseason is DC Jim Knowles' departure to Penn State and the addition of Matt Patricia. How big of a change do you think that is, HD, and what can we expect from Patricia?
Well, number one, let me say this about Jim Knowles. That's a massive loss. Back in 2022, when Jim Knowles came to anchor this defense, he made a drastic change. In 2023, they were a top 10 defense. Last year, they were the #1 defense and won the national championship. But Matt Patricia's coming in. Now, there's Dr. Jekyll, there's Mr. Hyde when it comes to Matt Patricia. Because we've seen him with the New England Patriots do a great job. But as a head coach for the Detroit Lions, he didn't do a great job. And then the last time we seen him with the Philadelphia Eagles, we're talking about them going on a losing streak. And then the following year, the Eagles won the Super Bowl without him being there. So hopefully he can add some of that intellect, that extreme knowledge from the NFL level, play a lot of different fronts, put guys in positions. But I say for this defense, the thing I'm looking forward to the most, a lot of production is now in the National Football League that sacked the quarterback last year. There's no Ty Hamilton. There's no Talik Williams. There's no JTT. Jack Sawyer's on the NFL roster. So who on that defensive line can step up and make plays? So I'm looking at people like Kenyatta Jackson, Bo Atkinson, who transferred from North Carolina, Will Smith Jr., who is the son of the late Will Smith, who played right here at Ohio State and also played for the New Orleans Saints. But I'm looking who can on that defensive line can make a name for themselves in a top 5 matchup here today.
Okay, let's talk about the offensive side of the ball. We've already talked about Jeremiah Smith. Who else should we be expecting on offense from the Buckeyes?
Jeremiah Smith is so good. He's making everybody forget that there's still so much other talent on this Ohio State offense. You mentioned Carnell Tate. He would be a number 1 on most other teams. Like, he is that dude. We saw a lot of plays from him during the college football playoff. The transfer C.J. Donaldson, the running back, that dude is a bruiser out of West Virginia. Covered a couple of his games. That's going to be a guy who I think was already good. I think he's going to be great in this Ohio State offense. And Max Clary mentioned the tight end from Purdue. You talk about Ohio State, they've had more blocking sort of skilled tight ends. Max Clary is going to be a threat in this offense and a little bit of a comfort food for Julian Sain as he tries to get acclimated into college football.
Okay, so we do have to show a little love to Arch Manning. Like, hello.
Of course.
He's in this matchup. No love for him here.
They disagree, Christine.
However, he is going into this season as a Heisman favorite. So, HG, when it comes to Arch, what are you expecting for him this season, specifically in this matchup?
So the number 1 job for any quarterback that's under center who touches the football every single play, Arch Manning must protect the football.
Yep.
You have to protect the football. Don't give it to your opponent. Number 2, understand that it's Texas versus Ohio State, not Arch Manning versus Ohio State.
That's right.
Let the game come to you. He has a plethora of weapons from the receiver position, from the running backs. They're 3 deep in the running back position as well. Offensive line is a little shaky, but you have one of the most elite play callers in the game by the name of Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah, and HD, you know, one thing, too, he hasn't played in an atmosphere like this yet. Like, this is a team that's coming off of a national championship. Like, they think that they can run it back, win 2 in a row, right? Y'all think you can win 2 in a row? Do you not? Having that type of environment, he hasn't seen anything like this yet. I think watching how he reacts to that is going to be huge today.
I would also say this. The last time we seen Arch Manning play in a big game, meaningful snaps, was against the University of Georgia at home.
Oof.
And Georgia sent blitz on top of blitz. And Arch Manning didn't handle it well. If I'm Matt Patricia, I want to see, does he have the answers to the test if I send extreme blitzes at him today, this afternoon, starting at 12 noon?
He's going to see Sonny Styles.
Is he overrated? I'm so confused. Y'all think he's overrated? A little bit? A little bit? Okay. So let's get some game picks in this matchup, shall we?
Yeah. You know, for all the good things I said about Ohio State, I'm sorry, guys.
Wait. Okay.
I'm picking Texas.
Why is that?
I think what they're going to be able to do with that pass rush, I think that's going to be a little bit too overwhelming and just the factor that's going to put them over top. But I think it's going to be a close football game.
All right, Lyles has Texas. HG, who do you have?
So it's my turn to pick, right? Let me hear y'all loud and proud. OH! All right, let me pull a Pat McAfee move. Give me Texas. Give me the Longhorns. Number 1, it's because of their defense. They have an opportunity to be the number 1 defense in the country. You have, I would say, NFL talent at all 3 levels. When you look at Colin Simmons, you look at Anthony Hill, Michael Taft, I think this is one of the better secondaries in the country as well. Jeremiah Smith is looking to have a different story about that. But give me the Longhorns. I think, Arch Manning is going to have a solid day and a solid first start.
Christine, save us.
Okay, so I know that they don't like to have bulletin board material. You know, the graphic, it already says the fans chose Texas, Lyles chose Texas, HG chose Texas, but we're in Columbus. Hello? Right? The defending champs, hello? I'm going Ohio State in this matchup, okay? Thank you. We're at the shoe, you guys. Hello? All right, Ohio State, look, I saved the graphic. There we go.
Thank you.
Who wins that one?
Team player.
Time now for the Get More Game Day presented by Geico. Our friend Justin got an up-close look at Ohio State's new championship hardware. Check it out.
Here we are outside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, and we're going to go inside to check out the trophy lobby. So I'm here with Sean, the Assistant Athletic Director here at Ohio State University. Sean, show me this amazing room.
Yeah, it's impressive, right?
Yeah, just a little bit, I'd say.
So we have our Big Ten trophies are here. We have 39 Big Ten championships. And then we have our bowl trophies are up over here. Now we do have some of our national title trophies over here too, 2 APs and coaches. And then these are our 9 national championships and our 7 Heismans.
Wow, I mean, obviously my eyes go directly to the newest
Right,
hardware.
right.
Why does it look like it's red on top? That literally looks like the trophy's supposed to be red. Did you guys do that on purpose?
We did, and quite frankly, you're the only person since we designed this in 2015 that has noticed that. So we did the red block O that's lit up that will give a red hue down here. It's better to see it at night, but no one else has ever noticed that. That's impressive.
What can I say? What can I say?
That's impressive.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
The whole evolution from 54 to 24.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, and to see, wait, there's even a huge difference just in the last 20 or so years in the style of the rings and the size
of the rings, yes.
Style and size.
Yes, yes. Now, if you open that up, there's actually confetti from the game inside that national championship ring. So that pivots, and there's confetti inside.
Who thinks of that?
Kevin Reese, our equipment manager, helped design that, and he thought of that.
Shout out to Kevin Reese. My gosh, you get a raise.
All right, there she is. Jessica Sands got to hang out. Now she's hanging out with some fans. Where are you at, Jess?
I am. Christine, hi, Harrys. What's up?
What
We
up?
won. I can't believe it. I know. Hi, guys. All right. Well, first of all, it's the history for me. And this was a big year. Obviously, they had to beat 4 top 10 teams. We had Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, and, of course, Notre Dame. Which game was your favorite and why?
The Tennessee game was my favorite game. It was a home playoff game. The stadium atmosphere was so electric. It was so cold, but like none of us wanted to leave. It was so much fun.
How cold was cold?
We were bundled up, 3 layers of blankets, but we didn't want to leave.
You didn't even feel it. Cool, cool, cool. What about you?
Give me the Oregon game. We lost to them earlier in the season. We come back and we beat them before the first quarter's even done.
And that must have felt good. I know that.
Probably the Texas game for me. Trayvon Henderson's screen pass before halftime was electric, and ending off with Jack Sawyer with the strip sack, that was just amazing.
I have to agree with you. Texas game for me, for sure.
Notre Dame for sure. I got a good family friend. His favorite team's Notre Dame. There's nothing better than laughing in his face when they lost. 100%.
This is college football at its finest. Christine, Harry, what about you guys? Which was your favorite game?
What do you think, Lyles?
Oh, man, it was definitely the way that they curb stomped Oregon, man. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like, I mean, I like what Oregon brought to the table last year. Dan Lanning, HDU and I, we know Dan. He's a great dude. But, like, that was just an incredible answer by Ohio State in that football game.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Oregon game as well because they had an opportunity to avenge their loss throughout the regular season. Then you went out to the West Coast, closer to Oregon, and put a mud hole in them. So I'm going with the Oregon game.
All right, you just saw that graphic right there. First opening weekend with 3 AP top 10 matchups. We've already talked about the one that's happening here. Let's take a look at the other 2. Starting with my Miami Hurricanes taking on
You went to Miami?
Notre Dame. I did. That one's on Sunday. Unfortunately, I can't go to it because it is on Sunday. 7:30 p.m. In Miami. Notre Dame returns an experienced group on both sides of the ball, but all eyes will, of course, be on redshirt freshman quarterback C.J. Carr. HD, when you look at Notre Dame and their offense, where do you think that they can improve this season?
So first, let me state this, Christine. We know Notre Dame is going to come in and run the football. They have the best running back in the country by the name of Jeremiah Love. You look back at 2023, Notre Dame averaged for the season 185 rush yards per game. Last year, that was over 200 rush yards per game. Now, with that being said, I believe Miami is going to bring an extra defender into the box. They're going to try to minimize the run as much as possible. That's going to now force C.J. Carr to beat him with their arm. If there's one thing I thought this offense needed to upgrade at or be better at in 2025, it's pushing the football down the field.
That's right.
They have the wide receivers. They got a transfer from Virginia, Malachi Fields. I think he's an excellent player. You have Jaden Greathouse. You had Jordan Faison. All you need now is the quarterback to be able to deliver it. You're going to get the one-on-one man coverage on the outside.
Yep.
Can you make those precise passes and also hit the home run hitters?
That Malachi Fields addition, huge, huge. Virginia was very not happy to lose him, understandably.
You talked about how their offense hoped to improve this season. Obviously, we have a new quarterback at Miami and Carson Beck, who was at Georgia last season. He had like a kind of up and down career at Georgia. What do you expect to see out of Carson Beck?
I'm intrigued here. I think it could be, you could talk me into it being very good, and you could also talk me into it not being so good. It could be more of what we saw last year, which, again, Carson Beck wasn't terrible last year, but given what we saw from him in 23, last year was not acceptable because that's not the standard he had set. This Miami offensive line is one of the most talented in the country. Francis Maui, Noah Christine, as you well know, he might be one of the best players in all of the country, but this wide receiver room is new. They lost their top 6 pass catchers from last year. And even if they had those guys, HD, the continuity, as you know, as a wide receiver between the quarterback and his receivers is huge. I think that's why you saw a drop-off from Carson Beck, not just from last year because he lost Ladd McConkey, Brock Bowers, had his guys last year, but even when he was a recruit in high school, I've spoken with coaches that said, hey, like, he had a drop-off from his junior to his senior year because he lost a lot of his guys that were a year above him from his junior to his senior year. So I'm intrigued to see if the talent there in that wide receiver room can sort of overmatch the lack of continuity and experience that they've got together.
And Lyles, to your point, that's one of the main things that I'm looking at. I want to see how Carson Beck and those wide receivers, how much they're going to be on the same page. I think transfer C.J. Daniels, he can become the go-to guy for Carson Beck. I also like this freshman receiver they have by the name of Malachi Tony. He's a little jitterbug. Just get him the football in space and let him do his work. But Carson Beck, he came into the 2024 season as one of the quarterbacks that a lot of people were projected to go into the first round. Can he make up for what he wasn't able to do last season and be a first rounder in the 2026 NFL draft?
All right, let's talk about another matchup. Clemson taking on LSU.
Another Dean team.
In Death Valley. We're not going to talk about which Death Valley is the real Death Valley right now. It's a battle of the Tigers, battle of Death Valleys, battle of top 10 teams with returning quarterbacks. Obviously, Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik. HD, what are you looking at out of Cade Klubnik when it comes to this matchup?
Well, I think we have a quarterback that's coming into the 2025 season with extreme confidence. You hear his head coach, Dabo Swinney. Whenever your head coach can boost your confidence and speak life into you, then I think you're destined for greatness. Now, what I do love about him, he has a nice group of wide receivers at his arsenal. When you look at T.J. Moore, Bryant Westco Jr., and then also Antonio Williams, those guys are destined to make big plays every time they touch the football. I want to see if they can get that run game going a little bit, but something that LSU drastically struggled with in 2024, running quarterbacks. That's one of the strengths of Cade Klubnik. It separates him from a lot of other quarterbacks in the country. That zone read, being able to, broken plays, make something out of nothing, and then keep his eyes downfield if he wanted to, and then throw it down. So really looking forward to Cade Klubnik, not just having a big night versus LSU, but also having a big season.
And HD, you talk about those weapons. I think that is what, for me, has me excited about Clemson this year, and it should have you excited, Christine, is that this team finally has the weapons that we saw from them in the 2010s that actually made them dominant. And so I think because of that, that's what's going to be the difference for them between then and the other years.
Wide receiver U, that's what we like to call it. Okay, so I do believe that Coach Corso is choosing his helmets right now.
Last time we get to see this.
It's the last time it's going to happen. So, usually he likes to play to the crowd a little bit.
That's right. Look at him. He got the bow tie on today, too.
Can I also say this? He is one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life.
He is.
So genuine and down to earth as well.
He is. And you know what? I always tell people, too, I'm like, hey, man, he is one of the fastest moving people that we work with. Like, when it's time to get somewhere, hey, man, Coach Corso moves, boy.
He's so gone. All right, so he's chosen Ohio State's helmets. I do want to be very clear. We know that, 28 years ago, he chose Ohio State for his first ever headgear pick.
And has worn that one the most.
It is.
Yeah.
But sometimes he chooses a helmet. He doesn't always choose the headgear. So it doesn't mean that he's choosing Ohio State in this matchup. I just want to be very clear. All right?
I know where I'm putting my money.
Me and you both.
You know what I mean?
Let's talk a little bit more about this matchup. HC, you talked about some of the things that they struggled with. LSU did last season. They also struggled a lot on defense. They hope to improve it this year. Lyles, when it comes to their defense, they're making those improvements. What do they need to do to actually be championship contenders?
Honestly, I think it's just the continuity from last year. Blake Baker came in as the defensive coordinator. They went from 52nd to 34th in SP+. I don't think for LSU to win a national championship, they've got to be like top 5 or top 10 defensively. If you look at the 2023 year with Jaden Daniels when they lost 9 games, had they been able to play a lick of defense, they probably would have won them a national championship, right? So you expect them to still be great on offense because that's never been an issue with Brian Kelly and his football teams. It is, can this defense, I think of guys like Whit Weeks, Harold Perkins, who it feels like he's been playing college football for 10 years at this point, just because he was so great as a freshman and we expected great things out of him.
Coming back from an injury last year,
correct, yes, and they also hit the transfer portal in a big way. So I think because of that, naturally, they are going to progress into a defense that they need to be if they are actually going to compete for a national championship. And we're really going to be able to, we are going to find out how much room they made up this summer.
Yeah.
Because you get to start off against an offense like Clemson.
Yeah.
We are going to know, like, you know, what's the game tonight? Yes,
Yeah,
tonight.
7:30
I keep thinking because we got games Sunday and Monday. I'm like, wait a minute.
All right, yeah, that game tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern in Death Valley. Time now for Fansville Advantage presented by Dr. Pepper. We're going to stay with this conversation right now. Can we settle the debate of which Death Valley is the real one? So their head coach, LSU's, had something to say about it this summer.
You want great habits when they're needed. When you're on the road and you're playing in Death Valley Jr., not the Death Valley, that's what you need. You need those traits on a day-to-day basis.
Brian Kelly should probably focus on winning a game, the first game of the season, maybe once in his time at LSU. That's
all right.
Rather than worrying about
That's
which
not what
Death
we're
Valley
talking
is
about.
the real one. Anyways, so let's take a look at all these stats. I like it. Whatever. Who cares about capacity? Year open. LSU says 1924. Clemson's obviously says 1942. I want to be very clear. Clemson's Death Valley was called Death Valley before LSU's Death Valley. In the 40s. LSU's Death Valley became Death Valley in the 70s, and the reason it became Death Valley is because people used to say it was very loud there, so they call it Death Valley, D-E-A-F, you couldn't hear, and they couldn't hear so much that they started turning deaf into death, okay? So that's what happened. It's really copycat league.
So I hear you, and while those are facts, hold on. So while those are facts, Christine, I am of the belief that anything that happened before color television is not real. So whether it is national championships, whether it's, you know, you called your Death Valley first or not, that does not matter. I've been to both. LSU is the real Death Valley.
Well, you're speaking from someone who grew up as a Florida fan, and I went to a game in the real Death Valley at LSU when #1 Florida went into there and played a night game. As a kid, riding all the way back home with my father, I can barely hear out of my ears. I was crying because the University of Florida lost, and Death Valley had an impact on that matchup as well. So I'm going with the LSU Tigers over the Clemson Tigers.
It's called It's called Death Valley, D-E-A-F.
Anyway, I also want to clarify, we definitely both believe that it is LSU, but part of me is definitely inspired by just picking on Christine.
Whatever. It's not the real Death Valley.
You're 5.
The real Death Valley is in Clemson, South Carolina. Speaking of, that game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight.
Yeah, that place is going to be rocking. You know, 81,000 in the stands. It's going to feel like 200,000, especially when we come down that hill.
It's a great crowd. The environment is much like an SEC game, and our players certainly will be up for the challenge.
Our best players need to take over.
Their quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, he can make any throw in the country.
There's really nothing that he can't do. I mean, he's tough. You can tell he is the leader. He's a very poised player.
You know, obviously Cade is really, really good. He's smart, athletic, and has a really strong arm. And so, you know, he can make all the throws that are necessary.
Touchdown, Clemson!
We can't win any national championship, you know, without, winning the opener. And that's one of our goals that we've set as a team.
There's nothing like it. So, you know, say what you want to say, but you know, ours is pretty special.
All right, we now welcome in Heather Dinich. Happy college football season, Heather.
Yes.
Yay, it's so exciting to have you here. Okay, so we're going to talk about pressure that's happening. You obviously know a lot about pressure when it comes to dealing with the College Football Playoff Committee. So we're going to talk about who has the most pressure amongst these teams and players. Here's how we're going to do it. You see these little balls, these little squishy balls? They're going to put how much pressure they feel like each team has with a gauge. This is a gauge. They're going to put them in here, all right? We're going to start with that team, LSU and Brian Kelly. Heather, who do you think, or how much pressure do you think that they have?
All right, so when I talk about Brian Kelly, I'm going to give him a lot of pressure, not because he's on the hot seat, because he's not on the coaching hot seat, but because he put this pressure on himself this offseason when he said, I have a defense capable of contending for a national title. I'm not done yet, Christine.
Oh, wow, I'm like, where are we going here?
And when he said, I want to win a season opener. So I'm gonna put some pressure on Brian Kelly.
We going up
like,
a little more.
Are we 75%, 75, like 2/3?
Yeah.
2/3?
Because listen, he can afford to lose this game, still be in the college football playoff. Let's talk reality here for a second. 11th toughest schedule. He can make a comeback. How he he loses matters. If Clemson wins the ACC, that matters.
True.
But the man said this is his team. It's one of the best teams he's ever had.
Yeah.
Hey.
Also, when you think about what Notre Dame has done since he left there, it's like, bro, you got to do something.
Come on, man.
It's about time. All right, HD. Alabama, Kalen DeBoer, how much pressure is on them this season?
Well, we're talking about a football team
wait,
last year.
HD.
Who
HD squared.
This is my sister. HD squared. That's right.
Okay, you're
So we're talking about a football team who did not make the college football playoffs last year. Kalen DeBoer had to follow a living legend in Nick Saban. One of the worst things that anyone could possibly do. But with that being said, because they lost to Vandy, because they lost to Oklahoma when they should not have last season, you talk about pressure. What do you mean, how much pressure?
Throw it in that.
How much pressure?
All the pressure.
We're going to fill this bad boy up.
Oh.
Now, let me also say this. Alabama plays Florida State. Could you imagine what the stories are going to be if they get upset by the Florida State Seminoles?
Yeah.
Not good.
Extreme pressure to the maximum. Kalen DeBoer, figure it out. I will say this. One thing I do love about their team this year, he has his offensive coordinator back, Ryan Grubb.
Yep.
Looking forward to seeing how that offense trickles out with all the players that they have. Offense, Jam Miller coming back to the running back position. Isaiah Horton transferred. Ryan Williams, one of the best wide receivers in the country. But the pressure.
Yeah.
It's definitely up. You talk about pressure cooker.
Yeah.
The pressure's on Kalen DeBoer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can imagine those Alabama fans. They want him to perform. All right, Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
A new college football coach. We don't know what he's going to do at this level. How much pressure's on him?
You know, we've heard a lot about him during this offseason. You know, he's one of the greatest football coaches of all time. I would argue our coworker, Nick Saban, I'm not saying this just because he is our coworker. He is the greatest college football coach of all time, the greatest football coach of all time, leader of young men, developer of talent. Literally, the NFL is littered with his players. With that said, the thing that we have heard most about Bill Belichick this offseason has not been about anything that's on the football field.
Yeah.
North Carolina, I love their transfer quarterback, Gio Lopez. I think he's a great player. Got to see him in person last season. I think he's going to have a fantastic season. I think they are going to win a decent amount of football games, but you're still at a basketball school. What are the consequences if they don't win? Like he might get talked bad about on Get Up. You know what I mean? First take, they might touch on it, but that's about it. He's all right. Because here's the thing, he's still got all the rings.
The man won 6 Super Bowls. There should be more than one.
He's chilling. He doesn't got to do anything. Hubert Davis needs to be the one that's sweating.
Why are you adding more balls?
Just a couple.
Okay.
Just a couple.
Okay.
Because you need to be able to see it over the logo.
Okay.
You know
That makes sense.
So,
all right,
but he's chilling.
Our next team, Heather.
Yes.
HD, number one. Penn State. How much pressure is on them?
So James Franklin, can you hold that for me?
Of course.
Okay, thanks. So James Franklin is 4-18 against top 10 opponents.
Wow.
Oh, James Franklin
4-18
is 4-20 against opponents named Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon.
Oof.
And James Franklin said this offseason that this is the best personnel he has ever had in terms of coaching staff and players. And when you look at the NFL talent on his team, Nicholas Singleton, Katron Allen, Drew Aller's going to increase his draft stock. You got Denai Dennis Sutton back there on the defense. Zane Durant. You got Jim Knowles from Ohio State. You are under pressure.
Wow. Is that more or less pressure than you think Kalen DeBoer in Alabama?
Oh, he's under more.
Okay.
Nationally, I think he's under more.
Okay.
These Alabama fans, yes, but.
Fair enough.
Hopefully James Franklin can do something a little bit different this
We gonna see.
And finally, the eyes of Texas are on the Longhorns. How much pressure is on them, HD?
So, I'm not going to say the pressure is on the Texas Longhorns. I'm going to be more specific. There's extreme pressure on Arch Manning. He has the most pressure of anyone in college football, player and coach. Number one, his last name is Manning.
Right.
Number two, Texas had been to the college football semifinals 2 years in a row. Quinn Ewers wasn't the best deep ball thrower.
No.
Arch Manning is. That's why we're going to the maximum.
Dump it. Dump it. Yeah.
Wow.
His cup runneth over, right? That's how you say that? Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of pressure on Manning. Do you guys agree? His first year as a starter?
Yeah, 100%. Look, he could be like objectively terrible because he's got that last name. We expect everything out of him. I think he is supremely talented. And you know, my other big pet peeve with Arch Manning is people talk about him in the context of his uncles. He plays like his grandfather.
Yeah, he does.
He can move. So, tons of
Thank
pressure.
God for him. He's a little bit more athletic. All right, Heather, this was so fun. Thank you so much. I'm throwing some of these balls out at the oh, they're not paying attention. All right, so as we know, this is Lee Corso's final time choosing his headgear. Here are some of the best moments from game day from him.
You know what you want? You want a connection. Connection with people, and nobody has done that better than you have.
Right.
There is only one Lee Corso.
Not so fast. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Not tonight, sweetheart. Give me that head.
I know you're crazy.
You're dead right.
This is strictly business.
That dog is ugly.
Off comes the headset. On goes the headgear. And the crowd goes crazy.
He's the godfather of college football.
Thanks to the fans for having so much fun with me.
All right, he's been a constant since game day started in 1987. That is 35 years, you guys. He's been here for a minute. His first ever headgear pick, as I mentioned, was 28 years ago?
Yeah.
Wild.
Unreal.
Look at all these posts from people around the country just talking about how huge he is. There's not going to be a dry eye in here as the game day crew is getting settled. What are some of your favorite moments from Corso?
I think just not even moments. When I think about college football, we all love the same thing. And if we just talk about FBS football, we do this over 130 different ways, whether it's how your programs run, your fandom, everything that it means to you. But there is one common denominator in this game that is spread all across the country, and that is our Saturdays have always started with him putting on that headgear. And college football does not start until he makes that pick. And to me, I think just given how meaningful that's been for everybody and what it's given us, we wouldn't be doing the show without Coach Corso. I got a brother and a sister for life now because of Coach Corso. So
that's very true.
Just his impact on the sport and everybody else to me is what stands out.
Number one, you're talking about a person who brought flair, brought flavor to a sporting event, but also a TV event. Someone who has always been authentic, been 1,000% himself. My favorite phrase is always going to be, not so fast, my friend.
That's right.
I love that about Lee Corso. I grew up watching him with a kid, watching College GameDay, going out in the yard, playing football with my brother, hoping that one day Coach Corso would talk about me on TV. I checked that off the list. Thank you, Coach Corso. I never dreamed or imagined I will be working with Lee Corso. Here I am standing today for his last time on that desk. Coach, we love you. We're going to miss you. But you are college football.
That's right.
You are what everybody loves as well.
Yeah. As we all are up here just representing one of his stops throughout his college football career. I just want to say, Lyles, you mentioned this earlier. He's just one of the nicest guys.
He is.
I'm sure when he first met us, he had no idea who we were or what we were doing, but he just welcomed us with open arms. And as you mentioned, HG, he literally he's the face of college football. It's going to be so weird starting every college football Saturday without Corso choosing headgear, because he's really what made it, what made it real. He also brought a lot of entertainment to college football, because obviously we cover sports, it is entertaining, but he brought so much fun and life to the sport of college football. We're going to miss him a lot.
Man, they're trying to make us cry, bro.
I know. Why?
Golly.
Why are they doing this?
Yeah.
But you also talk about someone who is well respected across the board.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You see the people at the airport yesterday or the day before really giving him his flowers. Man, that's a loved human being right there.
And just lastly, before we get out of here, a lot of people, whether it's coaches, players, they try to get into television and make it work. He's the first one that was great. Like, truly great, a staple. And so, he obviously paved the way for a lot of people. And, again, we cannot thank him enough for his contributions to not just college football, but to sports.
We all should be a little bit more like Coach Corso. That is all we have for you guys today. Enjoy game day. Celebrate Coach Corso all day long. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching Countdown to College Game Day, presented by Dr. Pepper.